Have you ever thought about this? What if you could own a tiny piece of a skyscraper, just as easily as buying a stock? Well, that's not science fiction anymore. It's the promise behind a huge new development from the Apertum Foundation. They're basically building a bridge to connect the physical world of assets with the digital world of finance. So let's get into it and break down exactly how this whole thing works.
No, seriously, just think about that for a second. What if you could buy, sell, or even trade a small piece of a giant building, or maybe a famous painting, or even shares in a private company, and do it instantly from anywhere in the world? For most of us right now, it's pretty much impossible. And that right there, that's a massive disconnect in how global finance works.
So the crypto world, it's been incredibly innovative, for sure. But most of its value has been, purely digital. Meanwhile, you've got the vast, vast majority of the world's wealth. We're talking trillions and trillions of dollars locked up in real, tangible stuff. Real estate, art, company shares, all that good stuff. These two financial universes have pretty much been living on different planets, completely separate. But that's all about to change.
Okay, so how in the world do you connect these two completely different financial planets? Well, the answer is a really cool piece of tech called real-world asset tokenization. You'll probably hear it called RWA for short. Think of it as that digital bridge we were talking about. It's what lets the value from, say, a physical building flow right onto the blockchain, smooth as anything.
All right, so what is RWA tokenization, really? In simple terms, it's the process of creating a digital representative, a token, for a real-world thing. This token lives on the blockchain, and it basically holds all the ownership rights of that physical item. The best way to think about it is like creating a digital twin, a secure, verifiable, and super easy to transfer version of something real. So how does this actually play out on the Apertum network? Well, it's a pretty straightforward three-step process. Step 1, you take a real-world asset, let's stick with our skyscraper example, and you get it all legally secured and valued. That's the off-chain part. Step 2, a digital token, which represents ownership of that building, gets created or minted right on the Apertum blockchain. And then step 3, the magic happens. That token can be traded instantly anywhere in the world or even plugged into all those cool DeFi apps. Okay, so we've got our digital twin of a real asset. So what? What can we actually do with it? Well, this is where things get really, really interesting. This is where the power of bringing these assets onto the blockchain truly comes to life. Once they're on the operative network, these tokenized assets become super powerful. We're talking about using smart contracts to automatically send out things like rental income to everyone who holds a piece of that token. Your ownership, it's proven right there on the blockchain for everyone to see. You can trade them without needing some slow, expensive middleman. And this is a big one. It lets real-world businesses tap into that massive pool of money floating around in the DeFi space. And when you put the old way and the new way side by side, wow, the difference is just night and day. I mean, think about traditional assets. Trading is slow. It's a mountain of paperwork. It's stuck within country borders. On Apertum, it's instant. It's automated. It's global. And ownership? Traditionally, it's all or nothing, right? Which means most of us are locked out of big-ticket items. But with tokenization, you get fractional ownership. Anybody can get in on the action. It's literally the difference between a closed, restricted system and one that's open and accessible to everyone. Now, it's really important to understand that this isn't just some cool new toy for asset owners. Nope. Bringing RWAs into the mix is designed to create a massive ripple effect, one that's going to be felt across the entire Apertum ecosystem. This impacts everybody. And here's the key, the absolute linchpin of the whole thing. Every single transaction involving these real-world assets on Apertum, whether it's a trade, a transfer, you name it, it all requires the network's native token, $APTM, as fuel. Think of it as the gas that makes the engine run. Okay, and this is where the token economics get super interesting. See, Apertum has this thing called a buy and burn protocol. What that means is a piece of all those $APTM tokens used for transaction fees gets permanently destroyed. Just poof, gone from circulation. So you can see where this is going, right? The more RWA activity there is, the more tokens get burned. And that directly leads to a shrinking supply of $APTM over time, making each one that's left just a little bit more scarce. What you end up with is this incredibly powerful positive feedback loop. It's beautiful, really. More RWA projects mean more people using the network. More network usage means more work and rewards for the validators securing everything. And all of that drives up demand for the $APTM token at the exact same time its supply is getting smaller. It just feeds on itself.
And there's another benefit here. All this extra activity, it creates a huge incentive for new validators to come and join the party. And the more validators you have, the more decentralized and secure the entire blockchain becomes. This isn't just a side effect, by the way. It's a core goal laid out by DAO1, the group guiding Apertum's development. It's a perfect self-reinforcing cycle of growth and security. So let's just zoom out for a second and look at the big picture here. By bringing in real-world assets, Arbitrum is going through a massive evolution. It's not just a DeFi blockchain anymore. It's leveling up, positioning itself as a foundational piece of infrastructure for global finance. Full stop. This is a huge strategic play. It puts Apertum in a completely new league. I mean, before this, you'd compare Apertum to other DeFi native chains. But now, by adding regulated RWA support, it's stepping into the ring with the heavyweights. We're talking about institutional-grade ecosystems like Avalanche Evergreen and Polygon's RWA projects. That gives it some serious street cred on the global stage. All right, let's wrap this up with the key takeaways. If you forget everything else, just remember these 4 things. First, tons of new real-world money is about to flow into the Optimum ecosystem. Second, that means the APTM burn rate and validator activity are set to climb. Third, you, the users, now have these incredible tools to tokenize your own real-world assets. And fourth, Optimum is officially growing up, evolving into critical infrastructure for all kinds of industries. Look, at the end of the day, this whole RWA thing isn't just some minor update. The source material really nails it when it says this is the bridge. The bridge that connects the old world of traditional assets with DAO1's decentralized economy. And that's what's going to drive real, meaningful adoption and create sustainable demand for the network. And that leaves us with one last, really exciting thought to chew on. This incredible bridge between the old and new financial worlds, it's officially built. The doors are open, so the only question now is, what asset is going to be the first one to walk across?